Hey there, my love. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Justine Jordan, and I love creating content to help women like you start their YouTube channel in such a feminine way that's easy. You don't have to overthink it, avoiding burning out, and you're able to really build an audience that gets in front of thousands of people through your content and fall in love with you with ease. So if you're interested in that, feel free to click that subscribe button down below. Let's talk about the YouTube journey when it came down to why I quit. Now, I won't go into full detail because I already did that in another video. Pause this video, go watch that one first, then come back here and you'll hear all the mistakes that I made. You'll hear some over there too. But I've made so many mistakes over the 6 years as a content creator on YouTube. A lot of the mistakes that I made when it came down to creating content was because I was making decisions from a very masculine self. I looked the part, I sounded the part, I even looked feminine, but I was running from a very masculine energy. And when women run from a very dominated masculine energy, we make so many mistakes that lead to burnout. I didn't just get burnt out by one mistake. I got burnt out. I kept stopping creating content, stopping creating content, stopping creating content. And to the point where I was just like, okay, enough is enough. I can't sustain this. I'm going to quit. And last year in 2023, I decided to wholeheartedly quit because I got sick and I was trying to do the Vlogmas and I just couldn't sustain it. I was trying to do it every day. It was impossible. I couldn't even create content once a week, let alone every day. But I made it to the 5th day of Christmas. It's in a good thing. And I took about a couple of months off to reevaluate what I wanted to do with my YouTube channel. And it's because I tried to take breaks and come back, take breaks and come back, but my content wasn't doing well. The first mistake that I made when it came down to why I quit my YouTube channel, especially in the beginning stages. Oh my gosh, I forgot my drink and I wanted to open it. Wait, before we get started, we gotta have this little ASMR. That's so good. Let me pour it for you. So cheers for you. Now that's good. And it's crazy, I didn't mean to match, but it matches my cute little outfit. But cheers to you for being here as we co-create over coffee together. I have yet to bring coffee outside of the vlogging video, but you know what? We gonna run with it. Our favorite drinks, some of you might not drink coffee, but if you do, hopefully you have your favorite drink. So cheers to you, and let's get truly started now. I threw spaghetti at the wall when it came to creating content, and you might be like, what the heck does that even mean? And if you don't know, throwing spaghetti at a wall, like imagine you actually throwing it at a wall, you hope that some of the noodles stick. Like you don't know which one will stick, but you hope that it will. Well, there is nothing wrong with that specific strategy. I don't think there's anything wrong with that because I think you as a woman creator, you have to really tap into what feels good to you. Well, back in the day, back in 2017, going into 2018, and the reason why I say that is if you watched that video, I created my content on New Year's Eve of 2017 and it didn't do well at all because there was no strategy. I didn't know anything about YouTube. I didn't even know that creating content was a thing. Back then I had no direction. I was just like, oh, I love making this, and that is what I did. And kudos and cheers to that version of me who did it, because you know what? The reason why I celebrate that and not really so much condemn it, because without that, just taking a leap and figuring it out as I go along, I wouldn't be here today because of it. It was a mistake in itself, yes, because now when it comes down to starting my YouTube channel, I don't throw spaghetti at the wall. I do what feels good and what I love, but there's always strategy behind the scenes, because the worst thing in the world that I've done as well, along with other things, the mistakes that I made, is that you create content that doesn't get seen. And I think that's the worst feeling in the world as a content creator, because I know you're not looking for external validation, but you're putting all this effort into a beautiful content piece and it's not getting seen. Like, any sane person will quit. So just know I don't do that anymore. Every video that I do is something that I love, but it also is matched with a lot of strategy and optimizing that video. And all optimizing means is that I look and research the heck out of what people are searching for and then utilize that to my advantage to create content of something I love, but also what are people searching. There's a fun fact that I always share, especially in my last videos, that only 8 to 10% of all YouTubers that are out there actually get monetized by YouTube. Only 8 to 10%. I was one of those 8 to 10% people. And that is wild to me, how a small amount of YouTubers, because I feel like all the YouTube video strategies out there about getting monetized and getting paid on the platform is people who are actually getting paid. And you think that there's just so many and there's an abundant, but when you hear about that statistics of it only being 10% of the overall amount of users and creators. No, the overall amount of creators, because everyone can be a user if you have a Gmail, but it's the creators that people actually create content. Only a few of them actually get paid. So throwing spaghetti at the wall while you're creating content is a fun concept. I say generate the ideas, generate the things you love, do things that you watch and you want to replicate and make your own spin on it when it comes to your content. But don't just throw spaghetti and hope that it works. That is not the greatest advice. And if anybody tells you different, they're leading you down the wrong path and get you burnt out quicker than you are successful with your channel. One thing that I learned was that I incorporated something that I absolutely loved and then something my audience loved watching. And that magic right there, woo! That was the pure success of my channel. That was why it's still making me money to this day, even though I don't create content on there anymore. It's still generating me comments and I see it all the time behind the scenes. It's pretty cool that it's still there. But when you have that magic formula of creating something you love and creating something your audience loves and meshing those together like chef's kiss. A big lesson that I learned from this mistake of throwing spaghetti at the wall is be strategic with what people are searching for. And then create content from that based on what you love. This will help you create content that's valuable, that's something you love to do, and it really strikes in that feeling and that love and that joy, and you get to co-create with God. But it's also something that people are searching for, because YouTube is a search engine, and I want you to understand that. A lot of people forget that. It's a search engine. So treat it as such when it comes to creating content. Yes, are there people who just throws, words together and then they get in front of thousands and millions of people? Absolutely. But they're 1 in a dozen, 1 in a million, 1 in a trillion. Okay? That might not be your journey. For me, I'm like, do in a way that sets you up for success versus sets you up for failure in hopes that you are successful. It's not the way to do YouTube here. Another reason why I quit YouTube with over 30,000 subscribers, or 31,000 now, to be honest, was that I got distracted with following the money. Now, let me tell you, honey, when you start getting paid on YouTube, it is one of the coolest feelings in the world. I was celebrating when I was getting pennies to the dollar. I was making 48 cents when I first got monetized, or maybe $5. And I thought I was the richest woman in the world. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I got paid. Obviously, you don't get paid until you make, I think, your first $100 or whatever your currency is. Like, I'll look into that in the background. But you can't get paid until you hit the $100. And that just depends on how much AdSense and all these click-through, all that goes into it. But when you start getting paid a couple of $100 and a couple of $1,000, you start feeling yourself. You're just like, let me see how I can make more of it. What does it take to continue to grow? What does it take to... And all I saw was ting, money, dollar signs. The numbers became my currency. The analytics became very ego driven, and I saw numbers and I ignored feelings, and the feelings that I was feeling was sadness, depressed, burnt out, because again, I was following the wrong thing. And this was a huge mistake I made, not just in the beginning, because I wasn't getting paid in the beginning, but throughout my journey within the 6 years, and as my content still makes money to this day. But again, I'm not focused there. I wasn't focused on the designs that I was creating. I wasn't focused on being creative with my content. I was focused on what gets me in front of more people so I can make more money. Beware. Be very wary of that when that money starts coming in, because it will. It will. If you do it the right way, if you're strategic with how you create content, if you think about what are people searching, it will work. Eventually, it will. When you follow the money, the views, the subscribers, the watch time hours, the analytics, and you just constantly in your masculine energy, because that's all masculinity. It's logic, it's analytical, it's strategic, it's optimization. All of that is just masculine driven when it comes down to creating content. The goal is to get paid your worth and to get paid knowing that you're creating content and making money from it. That's an amazing feeling. But that shouldn't be why you're creating content, because you will get burnt out. Especially if you're a woman. Anybody who follows the money will, as fast as it comes, it will go just as fast. Hello, I'm one of those people. When you're constantly distracted by following the money, following the views. You're not focused on what makes you feel good despite what's in front of you. Because I will tell you this, YouTube has done its due diligence of giving you a machine behind the camera, and the machine in YouTube Studio is insane. If you're a research girly and you love the data, the science, and maybe not, you're like, no, I don't care about that, and that stresses me out, cool. But if you're that, it's going to fuel that ego driven part of you, and all that means is just you're just going to focus on numbers instead of focusing on things that you love. Because being a creator, it's not about just being strategic. It's about the balance of both. You have to love what you're doing, and you have to listen to what people love watching, and then you combine them. That is the secret formula of today, of why what made me successful was combining those two. And as you can see, both tips kind of go hand in hand. When I focused on following the things that were generating me more money, like when a video took off, that's the one thing that will happen behind YouTube, is that when a video does take off, you're more likely are about to get monetized on YouTube. You're about to get paid, because the more people are watching your videos, the more watch time hours are going up, and that's how you get paid, and the more subscribers you get. It just walks hand in hand. And so the more views a video get, the more likely it will have more watch time hours you have, the more likely ads will be negotiating the rate of what they will pay in order to get their ads running on that video. Don't follow the money. It's fun. Enjoy it. Allow it to come in. Attract it into your life. I did that. But do it from a place of your why. Because the biggest lesson I had to learn is focus on the value that you're creating versus the money that you will actually make. Because when you focus on the money you make, you forget your why. You forget why you started. You forget why it doesn't matter if this video takes off versus the other. Because at the end of the day, if someone loves it, if one person loves your content, if one person likes it, if one person watches it, if one person, subscribes because of the content you created, that should be more than enough. It's not about the money in the bank. The money follows based on the value you're giving to someone else. It's called the law of compensation. The law of compensation means how much value you're giving to others, how much impact that you have on others, and you will get paid accordingly, according to God. So if you want to get paid more, focus on delivering more. Focus on giving more value in your content. Focus on impacting and inspiring, motivating someone. I think the best feeling in the world is not how much money I have in the bank when it comes down to making money on YouTube. The best feeling in the world is when someone writes a comment on my video and was just like, because of your video, I decided to take action on my videos. I decided to create content. I decided to overcome my fear of being on camera. I decided to vlog in public. Like, when I tell you, that feeling will never get old. Your money will run out. Your money will always be there. Money is just not a feeling. We're chasing a different feeling. But the feeling of impact, that will never get old. I'm 6.5 years of creating content, and I still get excited when people write comments under my videos, whether I've already made them or new ones like this, and it just fuels me. And I'm in a space where I can write back with pretty much every comment that comes in, because we're a small community, and I'm enjoying that, because I know what it's like when I couldn't write back to every comment because it was so overwhelming. I couldn't do it. Every time I comment, there was another comment. I was just, I can't keep up. The overachieving and people pleasing in me had to stop. And I had to be okay with not writing back to every comment. But for those of you that are writing on this channel, like, that means so much more. Because not to say I need external validation of what I'm creating, but when I get that little bonus of somebody saying, hey, thank you for this video, I'm like, my heart, thank you, because words of affirmation is my love language. Okay, so speaking of money, the next mistake that I honestly thought, and I think a lot of beginning YouTubers feel like this too, is that the amount of subscribers you have does not equate to the amount of money. It sounds simple, but I always think about the comments I used to get when I used to tell people that my channel, one of my videos reached over 500,000 views, and I'm getting paid passively through YouTube, and I'm getting paid a couple of $100 a month, and it's cool and it's really awesome, and people are just like, oh my God, you're so successful. Oh my God, teach me the ways. Oh my gosh, I need that. And I'm like, okay, I used to have a mentor who used to tell me all the time. She used to tell me, Justine, I don't think you understand that it's hard to attract a tribe like that for a lot of people. And I take it for granted because I'm just like, yeah, but I'm not successful in the things that I want, because success to me was money in the bank. And other people were just like, no, you have 30,000 subscribers. That's insane. You reached 500,000 views. That's insane. You're like famous. And I'm just like, yeah, I met people all over the world. Yeah, all, but that success wasn't success to me, because success was only money in the bank. And I was getting praised for a number, but I wasn't able to buy my house, and I wasn't be able to live a luxury lifestyle that I wanted. And I wanted that because that was success for me. Not having a number of people who follow me who never buy from me. I hear myself and I'm just like, girl, but that's the version of me that was there, you know, throughout my journey. Like last year, even up until last year. It was this version that had to prove herself worthy by the external factors of having a home, not being able to have a job, running a successful business, having clients, making money every single day. Like, you gotta breathe through that real quick, because that is heavy. And I wanna say it's probably the darkest time I've had on YouTube, because I wasn't grateful for what I was achieving. I was critical of what I wasn't. But this goes into the last tip that I said, is that if you're not clear about your why, you will lose focus on that. I created my other channel. It started with a different name. If you watch my welcome to my channel video I have here, I talked about it. It used to be called My Inspiring Designs, because my designs were supposed to inspire people. It was supposed to inspire someone to take action and recreate what I was creating in a simple way. Because I was a teacher that wanted to create because I wasn't able to do it in the classroom. And I wanted to really give that to people because I was being told what to do. And I'm a true Aquarius. Like, don't tell me what to do. I will go against exactly what you said to do because I don't want to be told what to do. Like, I'm a true Aquarian in that aspect. When I was so focused on the money and not realizing like it doesn't lead to the amount of subscribers that you had, it made me make decisions that weren't logical. It was feeling because of I wanted my success so bad. I wanted to have the things I wanted. I didn't care at what cost it got me. I was willing to do whatever it was, even if it was misaligned with me. And so I left my 9-to-5 job way earlier. Now, don't get me wrong. I made money in my business. I was able to basically match my business with doing a fraction of the time that my job was given, but I was stressed every single day. My health took a turn. I've gained weight since then, and I put strain on my marriage and my husband being a financial provider because his business was thriving and mine was like based because it was me. And so I quit, not just YouTube, I quit my business. I let go of all my mentorships, all of the courses, all the programs that I invested in. I let it all go. It was kind of like a phoenix moment, and I'm starting from where I left off. It was about 3 to 4 years into my YouTube journey where I left my job, and so I had to get back another job, and I'm okay with that. Because again, when you focus on the money, I know this is not that particular tip, but it kind of goes hand in hand with the last one. I did a lot of the wrong things. I wanted to create from a place of beauty and love and creation and happiness and joy, and not from needing money. Like, of course, we all need money. We all need money to make the world go round. But I'm not trusting that you're going to help me. I'm trusting in him helping me. There's a big difference, and however money shows up is how I will be grateful for. Whether it shows through the monetization of this channel, whether it's through grants and sponsorships and partnerships, and or just money that all of a sudden ends up in a check somewhere in my mailbox. Like, I've experienced all these things throughout the lifetime that I've been here and creating content. I'm okay with no matter how it comes in because God is infinite. He is the infinite source of all things. Why would I limit to him like, hey, I wanted to come here. Did that, done that, moved on. When we co-create, we trust in him. And no matter how it comes, we lean into it being the easiest way that he views it for us. And so then I'm willing to receive, which is femininity, and I'm willing to say thank you before it comes. I don't know how you ladies feel about Joel Osteen, but I listen to him every morning because it's just my way of getting in a high vibration for today, for the day. I still have to work through letting go of the pain and suffering that I put myself through. And so one of the videos that I watched, he talked about thanking God before the thing that you want comes. And he said, request what you want, request your desires, and then every day from then on out, say thank you. And so this is my out loud prayer to say thank you for what's to come, because I trust that it will. And that is full faith in believing that God will bestow upon my life with all the desires that I have, and then some, even things I couldn't imagine, because I've seen it happen before. I was able to monetize another YouTube channel and I didn't even know what I was doing. And he took over that part. So I want to do it again with the intentions of truly just enjoying the ride. Woo! That was intense. I didn't think I was going to go that far. There's a lot of limitations when it comes to money and how it served in my life. But I wanted to share that because that's the reason why it burnt me out. I quit because of those mistakes. So it goes deep. I'm okay with that. All right. So on to the next mistake. Another big mistake that took me out pretty bad was getting known for content that I didn't want to create anymore. This hits home. This hits my heart. This was hard. And this pushed me over the edge. And this was later on in my journey, up until I actually was just like, all right, enough is enough. I'm tired. I'm done. I don't even want to create content here anymore. And that was a huge mistake that I made. So as you know, I went from designing beautiful DIY projects that you could do at parties or in your house, your home decor. I'm still obsessed with that stuff. I still do it behind the scenes. I went into more of like designing events and then taking people behind the scenes. And then the pandemic hit. So then I started to coach, help people make money in hopes that I would make money. And then it was just downhill from there. And I got tired of that and I just didn't want to do it anymore. And so I wanted to go back to being creative with my home decor and vlogging and having fun with content again. And that shit, it sank so bad. Here's the biggest thing. And I think I've shared this in multiple videos, but I'm going to say it again. Once you get known for something on YouTube, YouTube now knows who to push your content for. So in the beginning stages, when you're strategic on what you want to get known for, be strategic about that. Be very intentional. Like if you want to do makeup and you love it and you can do it forever, by all means, make sure that is the pillars of your content. If you want to do more lifestyle vlogs and you're helping and being an inspiration through sharing your story, do that. Just know that as you evolve and as time goes on, you're going to want to do different things as a creator, because we love to be creative, and creativity is about challenging and overcoming and doing something different that fuels us. But the foundation of your YouTube channel pretty much kind of stays the same, but it is harder to grow when you start switching things up. And that's what happened to me. I went from so many different things throughout the years. YouTube was like, nope, you're known for balloon coaching and giving event business tips and pricing. Every time you post those type of videos, it does really well. And that's exactly every single time we'll do that. We'll show that to your audience and they are going to love it until they don't. The biggest mistake is that doing all those things. Don't get me wrong, you can sustain it. I just couldn't. It's what pushed me over the edge and I was just done. Like I went from having thousands of views every single day and week to a couple of views. And I'm talking like less than 100 on my videos. And talk about a hit to the ego. Let me tell you something. Before you create content, or before you jump back into creating content, or before you continue to create content, wherever you are in that journey, why are you creating the content? How is it going to help someone else? What value can someone get from your content? How are you changing, impacting, and inspiring someone's life through your content? I'm serious. Like if you want to write that in the comment section and let me know your why, put it out there so I can see and hold you accountable. Like put your why out there and stick to it. Tell your friends, tell your sister, your brothers, your mom, your dad, your uncles, your best friends, whoever, your partner. I don't care who it is. Tell somebody your why, because you're going to get on this journey years later and you're going to tend to forget it. You're going to forget it because there are going to be things that are thrown at you throughout the time. And it's just your evolution and journey here on YouTube as you create. It's okay to evolve as a creator. God didn't say the same. There are things that have happened over time and centuries here on earth. We have it documented. And God allows certain things to evolve as the human species kept coming. And now we're in a technological world that we have AI this, AI that, like so many things and ways to connect with people in ways that we never thought centuries ago. But through the why of why God allows it is because of his intentions. His why is always the number one for all of creation. Well, again, you're a co-creator, you're a creator in his image, so therefore your why is just as important. You create your creation, which is your content. You want to make sure you stick to that why, because that why will sustain you no matter where you go through your journey and evolution as a creator. Stick to your why and let me know down below in the comment section. I would love to hear it. One big mistake that I made throughout, I want to say after year 1, was chasing after my dreams. Like what? I hate that. That's like the number one. I should make a video about just you shouldn't be chasing your dreams. Like, let's just stop chasing after our dreams, especially if you're a woman. Stop it. Being a feminine content creator, being a feminine YouTuber is about attracting. Why don't we tell women to attract their dreams? Hey men, you need to chase after your dreams. Hey women, you need to attract your dreams. Separate based on the strengths of what God created us to be. Women can't chase because we eventually run out. Think about a cheetah. A cheetah runs, but they only have a certain amount of energy to exert before they become burnt out. And then they have to rejuvenate, they have to rest, they have to build up that energy to then hunt again. That is a woman. I mean, I think Mother Nature in general is a simulation and very symbolic of who we are as women. But we can't sustain long-term energy of chasing. We can only sustain it for a short amount of time. And the problem with that is that humans can try to sustain it long-term. And sometimes men get burnt out too, especially for men who are more creative driven. But women specifically should only be able to do, which is this part, creating content, creating videos, creating things, looking up ways to be strategic. What are people searching? What am I going to record? And then putting out that. That is small energy. And then you put it out there and then you rest. I'm only creating content here once a week. Once a week. That's it. I do short form content as of now, but I'm trusting that my long form content eventually is going to work for me. And that's how it should be. All women need to be on YouTubers as creators, because places like Instagram and TikTok, if it's still around, I don't know by the time you're watching this, like there's a lot going on with TikTok, but you have to sustain that on a day-to-day basis. And short form content becomes exhausting because you're constantly doing every single day. And if you don't sustain that, you don't get rewarded with the audience that you want. Versus YouTube is just like, hey, put it out there. If it works, great. It's going to get pushed out forever. If it doesn't, all right, try something different next week. And that's all it takes. Some men have created content 2 to 3 times a week. They do it every day. Good for them. They rejuvenate their energy every single day. They're not that cheetahs. Right? They're more like a gazelle. Eventually they gotta rest, but they can go back at it again. Cheetahs are like women. We have a little bit of energy to sustain doing. And then the rest, we have to just trust, release, relax, and do things that we love, because there's other things to attend to besides creating content. So take my advice, because if you're constantly overexerting yourself, eventually you'll crash and burn. Then a cheetah will die if it constantly burns out. And you know what? That's what happened to my channel. It died. It didn't die. It's still making me money today. But that's besides the point. The point is that I, as a creator, couldn't sustain that. There's just no way. I was a female creator, and all female creators who overexert themselves will have repercussions physically, spiritually, emotionally, because it is misaligned for how God created you. God makes no mistakes. So ladies, please trust your body, listen to yourself, and listen to me. Don't overexert yourself, because if you do, you're gonna have long-term repercussions. And I'm one of them. I'm a living proof of that. Those were the terrible mistakes that burnt me out, kept me in a scarcity mindset. I wasn't able to sustain the things that I wanted, my desires. I got all my desires, but at a price. And the price killed me. Not physically, but you know. And I had to let go of it all in order to then come here and do it the right way. And so I hope that this video helps you in the long run, because it took a lot for me to learn my lessons. And it seems like God puts me in situations to teach someone else, to teach other people, learn from my experiences in hopes that it inspires you, it impacts you, and it empowers you to do something different. Like, you don't have to make the same mistakes anybody else makes. You can avoid it and go even further because you've learned from their own mistakes. So learn from my experiences. Feel free to click that subscribe button. Let me know your why. I would love to hear that as well in the comment section. Or what was your biggest mistake? Like, are you creating content? Are you making the mistakes that I'm making? Like, stop it. I'm telling you. And if you did, you know what I'm talking about. Other than that, I love you so much. Again, if you really liked this video and it was valuable to you, don't forget to give that big thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.